Hello, hello, and yeah, welcome back to my channel. And in today's session, we'll be looking at data cleaning in Power BI. So in previous sessions or lessons, we looked at how to import data into Power BI, and we also understood that once data is imported into Power BI, you don't just go straight to loading the data because there might be one or two things that need to be cleaned, changed. For example, some data types that needs to be changed or need to be looked at. There might be some new columns that you might want to add, and so on and so forth. There might be a few things that you want to do with that data set before you jump into analyzing and then creating your visuals. Okay, and like I said before in one of my channels, or sorry, in one of my videos, that data cleaning is the most important part of data analysis. If you ask me, aside from the analysis itself, data cleaning is the most important step, because bad data cleaning will lead to a bad analysis. However, a good transformation or data cleaning will to some extent lead to a better outcome, you know. And so it's important that you look at your data cleaning very well as a data analyst or as an analyst in general. All right, and that is what we are looking at today. And so in today's session, we are still going to be looking at or be using our fitness membership analytics data set that we got from the Data DNA Onyx Challenge for the month of August 2025. We are looking to have a final dashboard looking something like this. Yeah, looking something like this at the end of the period. So I'm not sure why this is. I'll look at it afterwards. But we are looking to have something like this as our first mini project. Yeah, and so we will be looking at that data set, and in subsequent videos we'll be, after the data cleaning, we'll go right into creating that visuals and answering some questions. All right, so if you are ready, welcome back once again to my channel. Let's jump right into it. So if you have Power BI installed on your desktop, your laptop already, I've created a video on how to download Power BI desktop. For those of you who aren't having it already on your desktop, I got some people asking how to get Power BI, so I created a video on that for you guys as well, so you can check that out. And then once you have it installed and we are all set, we are all on this page. Now let's jump into our topic for today. And so we need to import the data once again. So we choose our blank, sheet. Then we come here. Our data set is in CSV, so we pick the CSV, and then we go. This is our data set where we are working with Fitness Membership Analytics Challenge. When we start working on the project, I'll put the description below so that anyone that wants to download the data set can have access to it as well. So we open, and then we are importing our data set. So this might take some few seconds. Yeah, so there's our data set. So we come here, and then instead of going to load, we like to transform the data, check our data set to make sure everything is correct before we load it into our sheet. Okay, visualization sheet like this. So transform data, right? This must also take a while. Okay, so voila. So this is our data set. This is what we are working with. And from the very onset, you can see this. I think I explained this in my previous videos. So this shows you how valid or how error-free the column is. We can turn that off from right here. All right, like so. But I need it, so I'm turning it back on. Now, when it comes to data cleaning, one thing I advise is that you take a look at each column. It doesn't matter if they are 20 columns, 25 columns. I would advise that, and this is preference, this is personal preference, that you look at each column individually. Make sure that the columns are as you want them to be, or as your manager has instructed you to have it. Before you start to load them and then start your analysis. All right, that's my preference because you never know what might be hiding somewhere. All right, and so we'll be doing that in this session. And so we are starting from this. Now, one important thing that you need to keep in mind is the data types. Now, when I say data types, I mean this, something like this. You see this 1, 2, 3 over here. So this 1, 2, 3 tells us that this particular column should be numerical, or the figures and digits, whatever that is in the column, should be numbers. Do you understand? It should be numbers. We can change this and then make this text. All right. But then, so as you can see, so text, so add text. But then the problem with it, if you have it in text, is that assuming we want to make some calculations, some additions, using some, mathematical operations, because it's in text, it's not going to give you that opportunity to work with. I don't know if you understand. There's an issue with one of the two of the columns. You will get there for you to understand. But then if the data type is wrong, it's going to affect your analysis in such that in places that you are supposed to do some operational, use some operational functions like the plus, minus, multiplication, and addition, because it's in text form, you wouldn't be able to do that. It will just give you error, 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 because you are trying to multiply words. It's like trying to multiply Kofi and Amma, or adding Kofi and Amma. So something like Kofi plus Amma, that wouldn't work. Do you understand? Because Kofi is in text form, Amma is in text form, or Accra multiplied by Kumasi, that wouldn't work. Do you understand? And so if the data type is in word, it doesn't matter if the figures are in figures, but as long as the data type is in word, it's read as if the items in that column is also in word form or in a text form. All right. And so we need to change this to any one of these decimals. The operational functions works with decimals, so that is fine. Fixed decimal numbers, this is fine. This currency, whole numbers, this is also fine, and so on and so forth. And so in this situation, these are whole numbers, and so we are going to change this, or we can equally, without doing that, we can equally come here. Like I said in one of my videos, these are apply steps. So whatever changes that we make uh, um is kept here. All right, so we can just, the change that we made, this is it, change type, so we can just cancel this, and then you see it's gone back to numerical. All right, so if you want to change the data type, all you have to do is to click these three things over here. It could be ABC, could be 1, 2, 3, could be this is true or false, could be time. So once you click on it, it gives you the options to choose what data type you want that column to be. Do you understand? And so in this particular case, we want it to be whole numbers. And so this is whole numbers. Now we are okay with age to be to them as numerical items. So we want it in whole numbers. Then we move on to the next one, which is membership type. The membership type, we want the membership type in text form. So it's already in text form because we know membership type is text. It's not numbers or decimals or anything. It's text. So it's advisable to have it in text form. So we leave it as text form, right? Then we come to visit per week. Now these are also in in digits. So these are numerical. And so of course we have it here as whole numbers, and that is fine. Days per week, these are in words form, they are in text form. So you can't have it any other way than to have it in text form. And we have it here. So this this, and this are all correct. All right. Now let's move on. Now this section is all about true or false. All right. And so if you click here, it only has true or false in them. And so if you click here, it shows you that this is also right because they're just true or false. So true or false, that is right. So we leave this as well as it is. All right. Now this particular one, all right, this is time. Time. We have it in time form, and this is correct. You might want to change this. Sometimes you find this in text. All right. Sometimes we just find it in text. You find it like this. There are times that you might find it like this, 8:39 a.m. and this, and then you might also find this also in text, or yeah, in text or maybe numbers or something. All right. So let's say you must also find this in text. In text. So like this. Now, if you are not careful and then you don't check this, you don't say that this is actually time, then you go ahead with it being in text form, this is going to cost you in future. Why? Because at a point in time you might want to find the difference between this and this. Now in this situation, it has already been calculated for you, it has already been done, a column had already been created for you. All right, that the difference between the average time checkout and the average time check-in is this. All right, is what is shown in this column. This is what this means. All right, this means the difference between this and this gives you this. All right, but then there are situations that when you find them in text and then you don't have this and you want to find the difference, that will be difficult for you to do. Why? Because you didn't check the data types, you left the data types as text, which is wrong. You understand? That means now these items in this column are coming off as text form. And like I explained with the age, if they are coming off as text form, there's going to be difficult for you to use the operational functions. That is the minus, multiplication, division, and addition. All right. So in this case, if you want to find the difference, it will just give you an error. So let's do an example. Let's see. Let me just show you an example. And so we want to find the difference between this and this. All right. So let's add a new column and then say custom column, right? There's a custom column. Okay. And then we have custom column. We are going to name this difference of check-ins. Check-ins. You can name it any other way you want to, but of check-ins and checkouts. So you can name this any other way, but this is just to show you. And then now we'll go over what custom column is. Custom column is, so don't be frightened. So now let's go and see. So now what are we looking for? Check-ins, right? So average check-in. So average check-in and checkout. So average checkout is set minus average check-in is set. So on a normal circumstance, this is just it. And then okay. Now what are you going to realize? Now what you are going to realize is that it's giving us an error, it's giving us errors. Do you understand? It's giving us errors. And why is it giving us errors? It's giving us errors because we are trying to multiply two text columns. It's text. And like I said, you can't use operational functions for text. Do you understand? So this will be giving you errors. And there's really nothing you can do as it's giving you error. Other than to go back and check the data type, make sure the data type is correct. Right? And so when I change this to the right data type and I say okay, now this is I'm using time. Now this is time, right? Sure. So I'm replacing the current with this. So this is time, and I'm replacing this also with time. Okay, I'm replacing it with time. So now I'm changing the data type to time. Now let's see if this is going to work. Now this is time. So you can times these things. You can subtract, you can add. So times numerics, this this how do you call it? Let me see. Yeah, the decimals, fixed decimals, whole numbers, percentage, where is the time? The times. You can use operational functions for them. All right. So now let's work this out so that I show you. So now we are doing the same thing. This time we have a different data type. All right. So again, difference check-ins. So you can use any other ones and checkouts. All right. Okay. So again, we are going to go average time check-in insert minus average time check-in, check out and check in. All right. And then okay. Now what do we have here? Now you see that now it's giving us figures. All right. It's no more giving us errors, it's giving us figures. So it's giving us 1 hour 58 minutes, which is equivalent to what we have here in minutes. All right. Which is equivalent to what we have here in minutes. So this is 1 hour 58 minutes. Do you understand? So 1 hour 58 minutes is given us is the same in minutes as 118 minutes. All right. All right. Good. So and then this given us 62. So let me see. This I'll be sure. The third one 62. So this is 62. 60, 1 hour 60 minutes 2. So 62. All right. So it means that is right. So let's cancel this. So that is that for, I just wanted to use that as the data type as I explained so that you will really get to understand and appreciate it. All right. So then again, now we are done with this. So this duration in Gym minutes. So the data type, we have it in whole numbers. That is correct. This is also true or false. So we have it true or false. So we have it here, true or false, and that's fine. This is correct. All right. Likewise, this also shows. So we look at it. Everything is fine. There's no problem here. This as well. So this is in text form. That is fine. All right. So subscription price. Now subscription price, because it's price, so we assume that this is money. We are looking at money. We are talking about money. So subscription price is money. So now, I prefer that you leave it in whole numbers because I don't want the confusion, the complications with the point zero zero. So I like to leave it as whole numbers, but it doesn't really affect it. If you leave it as whole number, you can also leave it as currency. So when you choose a currency as a point zero zero, all right, when you choose it as a point zero zero, and so that is also perfectly fine. You don't need to worry about it, but just leave it in whole numbers. Is one and the same, so that is fine. Okay. And then the the subscription model, we have it as monthly. Fine. Adjust the pricing. We can have this. Now this is in decimals because you realize some of them have 22.5 and all that. Now, if you want to round these things up as well, there's a way to round them up. So you have something like 22.5, 37.5. You just want to have everything as a whole number. Now there's an option here which is called rounded. So add column, I think it's also somewhere here, somewhere the transform. Yes, also you can find it at transform or add column. So transform. So you click on the column and then you come to rounding and then you just round and then it will ask you to how many decimal places. Like I can see zero and then that works it out. So it takes away the point zero zero, then it just rounds it off. Do you understand? But I like to keep it with the decimal for now. So again, I go back and I show you how to do that. And then we have the discount type, which is in text form. This is fine. And then discount rate. This is figures, decimals. So we have the discount rate. But with the rate, again, you can just change it if you are not really familiar with the 0.05 and the 0.1, all that, and you want it in percentage because we are talking about rate. So obviously, rate is in percentages. You understand? And so if you're not really familiar with the point what, and what in percentage form, you can easily go here and then we can select percentage. And that gives you 5.0% and all that, right? So this 10.0 and all that, and that is also perfectly fine. Now we have our final price as well. You can round it up if you want. You can change it to currency if you want. You can change it to whole number if you want. It's still fine, but you can't change it to text, or you can't change it to text or true or false or binary. If you even try changing it to true or false, I will just give you it doesn't even make any sense. So you don't do that. So leave it in numerical form. Then access hours, all right, this is fine. And then there's this home gym location. Now, one thing that you can also do in scenarios like this, you have the home gym location. I realize that this is the state and this is the city, right? So California is the state, and then we have San Jose being the state or the province or whatever it is. Then we also have Fresno, we have Oakland, we have Anaheim, we have Sacramento, we have Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Oakland. Yeah. So we want to separate all of this so that we have the state in one column and then we have the cities in one column. All right. And we can do that. All you have to do is to come here and then we are going to split the column and we are going to split them by delimiters. All right. So we come here and then we right click. Now, once you right click, it's going to this pop drop down but item is going to show, and there are so many things you can do from here. So, but in this case, we just want to split the columns. All right, we want to split them so that we have this separated from this. All right, so we come down to split column, and it's going to ask you, how are you splitting it? Are you splitting it by delimiter, by number of characters, by positions? And in this case, we are splitting by the comma, so that is delimiter. All right, it could be full stop, it could be dash, it could be underscore. Those are all delimiters. All right. So we are separating by delimiter. So click delimiter, and the delimiter is comma, don't forget. And so this is comma, but I can also come here and now put it in there as comma, okay? And then I'm going to click on OK. So what it's going to do is going to split this column into two. You are going to have this only for the states or the province and this for the city, all right? And then we can come right up here and then change the title. Let's say this is state, and then this is city. Good, good. And then once we are done with that, we come here to latitude, come to the longitude. Now you realize that the city and the state, we are not supposed to leave them as A. We can use the country, but we'll do that in another video. So we have the latitude, the longitude, then the join date. All right, and the join date is in date, so that is perfectly fine. All right, and then we have the personal training hours 1, 2, 3. These are numeric, so that is perfectly fine. And then we have this, and then we have that. So these are when it comes to data cleaning. Now let's do one. Let me add a bonus at the end of this. So one thing that we can do is looking at this age column, okay, we can do something called just finding the age bracket, okay, where we can use where we can use that particular column to group these ages, all right. And so when we look here, we can see that the age starts from 12 years of age and ends somewhere 49. Okay, so we have from 12 to 49. And so what we can do is that we can group this and say that, all right, and so for those people that go to the gym, if your age is between or is equal to or less than 18 years, then we are going to say you are youth or you are adolescent or whatever you want to call it. So we say in this case, we say you are a youth. And then we are going to say that if your age is above 35 years, you are an adult. And then if you are between the ages of 18 to 35 years, then we can say you are a young adult. All right. So that we can now use that age bracket to make our analysis going forward. Right. So let's do that. Now we can do that using the if function. All right. We can use that using the if function. But there's another easier way to do that in Power BI. And that's what I want to show you. So we come here down to add column. We are going to use what we call the conditional column. Now the conditional column works the same way as the if function. All right, the if you are familiar with Microsoft Excel, you know the if function, how it works. You say if this is less than or equal to this, then comma, then this, else this. Do you understand? And so that's how it works here as well. And so we are going to use a conditional column to do that. And so we are going to click on this, and pop-up is going to come, and then this is what it's going to show. So you get to add conditional column, and we are going to change the new column name, and we are going to say this is age bracket. All right, we are going to say this is age bracket. And so what are we looking at? The so this box is showing something. It's saying that now if the column name and then there's an operator and then there's a value, then what should be the output? And at the end we have else, what should be the value? And so it's similar to if you know the in function in Excel where, so let me open this, where we have something like, so if this is greater than or equal to 100, then we say yes. We say, oh, why am I not seeing this right here? Uh, yeah, I'm sure you understand what I mean. My keypad is misbehaving, but you know, like in Excel, what we say, if something is greater or equal to or less than this, then comma, then we put it in the apostrophes, and then we say then this, else the comma, because that's what the logical we have the logical test, the value if true, and then the value if false. So that's how it works. Maybe when we are doing Excel, or we start our Excel series, I'll show you that in more details, all right? But for now, I just want you to have the idea that that's how it works. So the column name is saying that, so what is the column name? Which column are we taking or are we working with? We are working with the age column. And so saying that if the age column, all right, the age column is what? Is less than or equal to, like we said, 18. Then what are we going to say? Then we are going to say they are youth or young or young. Let's just do that. So if age is less than or equal to 18, then this. But you should understand that there are three um, logical distance working here in this scenario. And so we have one of them. Now there are two more. And so to get the next one, you need to add a clause or this clause. And this is going to say else if, so it's going to be if age is less than or equal to 18, then this. Else if again age is now greater than 35, then I'm going to say adult. So once I'm done with this, then I'm going to come there and say else. So if the age bracket is neither this nor this, then what are we going to say? That means if it is not less or equal to 18 and at the same time it isn't greater than 35, then now I'm going to say then or else we are going to say that will be young adults. All right. So now we are done, and then we click on OK. And that's what it's showing here. So our age bracket and it's showing this. So 18, so adults, young adults, so it's showing the logical functions that we put in there, and that's what you can see over here. All right. So if age is less or equal to 18, then youth or young. Else if age, so that is what it's showing right here. All right. So for this particular column. So now we have everything set up, and this is a part one of this data cleaning. This is just a short mini data cleaning project. You can try your hands on. If there are any questions, you can let me know. All right, I might probably leave the link to this. I'll probably leave the data set, this project down below, so you can try your hands on it. And kindly look forward to the part two of this, where we want to do one or two things, with this before um, a main project, which is going to be a little more cumbersome and complicated than this. But so far, I do hope we've understood this so far. And yeah, if you have any questions, can leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to look at the check and respond to you. Thank you once again for being here.